We have also seen a lot. I think it's also important to say that as a community, we also need to think hard because uchumi ni competition, you know, biashara si ni competition. And we feel like there are people who are actually outsmarting us in biashara in this town and in other parts of this country, and we need to think very hard as a community. Sisi tunajulikana kwa biashara, lakini ni kama tunachezwa zaidi raundi hii, na lazima tufikirie zaidi. Serikali inatucheza kwa mambo ya uchuru na mambo ya licenses, lakini wengine wanatucheza kwa njia zingine. So we need to be careful about that also as a community. Kuna wao ambao we have had a number of our heroes, freedom fighters, who have passed on in the recent past. And in every of those values, mambo ya mashamba yamewekelewa kwa meza. Watu wengine kutoka hapa kwetu tu wanatumiwa kusema nedeni mkafamie mashamba. Na ni vizuri kusema tuelewane. Ukifikiria ni shamba ya mtu fulani inaenda kufamiwa, watu wataanza na ile yote kubwa. And your 2 acres is land that your neighbor does not have. So if you want to start that kind of battle, it is a battle that I don't think is useful to us. Na pia, kwa sababu we see that the Americans are really heavily supporting this government. They should see what happened in Zimbabwe. Hiyo mchezo ilianza namna hiyo, mwishowe Zimbabwe is no longer a country you can talk about, because the Rad invasion became an issue that was beyond those who started talking recklessly. It is, we agree that our freedom fighters, even sons of freedom fighters, needs to be helped. But there are many ways of compensating them. And they've been suggested. Their children can be educated. You can buy houses for them. Na mambo mengine yote ambayo serikali inaweza fanya. Lakini jambo la kusema mwende mkawatafutie mashamba, na pia waache kudanganywa. Hakuna shamba imebaki Kenya, watagawiwa. Kama wanataka tugawe iko Del Monte, sawa sawa, tutaenda huko. Kama wanataka tuende, tutaenda kule kwa Koki, pande ya Laikipia. But that's the nonsense we do not want to entertain in our barrios again. And I also...
We are the leaders of the Jubilee Party, and we decided to come this morning to present our memoranda because we support the talks that are happening. But as you are aware, that our party is not represented. We are not complaining because we support the process. But Jubilee Party being the third largest party in Kenya, and having also the third largest party in the National Assembly at the Senate, we wish to present our issues because we also want to say that we are not part of either the Kenya Kwanza or the Azimio coalition. We have already written to the Speaker in that aspect to indicate that after the election we have not had any formal agreement with any coalition. And the outfit, how it was done, was meant that every other party presents its own coalition. So our unique position is that we are an independent political party. We don't have a coalition, and so we want to present a Jubilee Party. So today we have just come to drop our documents. Hopefully that we are going to be given an opportunity and a slot to come and give our views on the issues. So we have several issues that we have come and we have our agenda. And part of it is first to say the issue of political parties. That the issue of political parties, when political parties go in an election, it should be respected the decision that political parties take after the election. Because you cannot continue staying in a coalition or in kind of a marriage that you are feeling you are being mistreated. And that's what happened to the Jubilee Party. We know what happened after the election. We lost our positions from the commission, the issue of the political party allocation of slots, even at the National Assembly. And so, you know our matter. And we would like that issue of the political parties to be respected, and especially after the election, such that people can sit down and agree a way forward. Second issue that we, as the Jubilee Party, are going to present today as part of our memoranda is that we support the issue of gender in the National Assembly and also both the Senate and the counties. And we are saying we should not just focus on the National Assembly alone, the Senate, but also even in the allocation from the executive. And we are happy on what happened with this government. We are hoping that each and every area that the issue of gender will be looked at, but political parties should come up with a proper mechanism and with IBC, such that we will not be struggling like what we have done. We know there have been there was the High Court already ruled about the issue, but we have been struggling. We have a bill that is in Parliament supporting the issue of addition of women in Parliament, and we support. And so we have detailed information on this document on how we can be able to achieve that. On the issue of the cost of living, it's also something that we are very concerned about, and we know there are several interventions, though majority maybe have not been very successful. But what our first proposal is that we need to look at all the social protection programs that we have. And because we have a lot of repetition in some of them, we propose that we should be able to consolidate all the social programs to one, such that if you're talking about health, if somebody is an indigent and they need a health insurance card, they need to be supported by the government, so that we don't have somebody getting maybe 2 or 3 benefits from different social protection programs. And we propose that if you are able to have consolidated and one program that can focus on the families of the indigents and the people who are not able, from health and be supported in all aspects, in food and everything else, then we can be able to move on. But again, as I say, they are well detailed plan on how we can be able to do the social protection. We are very concerned on what happens after the elections. And for us, yes, we support the issue of demonstration, but peaceful demonstration. And we are saying, if somebody calls for peaceful demonstration, we are proposing that if any destruction of property happens, then those people should be held liable. And so that if you're calling your people to come out for peaceful demonstration, you should also address them and tell them we should not destroy any property. We have seen destruction of properties, we have seen people closing businesses, people are actually going back because of these demonstrations. And so we are saying, as we support the demonstrations, the people calling for peaceful demonstration, if any destruction happens, they should be held liable. And I think that is one of the things that we are proposing. The issue of the office of the leader of the opposition is part of the issue that we are also talking about. And you know, Jubilee initially, we had talked about the issue of winner takes it all should not happen. And our proposal is now broader. If you're going to have the office of the leader of opposition, we are proposing that that person will be the leader of opposition in the National Assembly, the person will be number 2 in the election, and the deputy to be the leader of opposition at the Senate, so that then any party will not feel like they have been left aside. So if you are creating the office of leader of opposition in the Parliament, so the number 2 becomes the leader of opposition at the National Assembly, and the deputy becomes the leader of opposition at the Senate. And in some of those are some of the issues that we have highlighted, but my colleagues can add on more issues that we have as a party.
Thank you so much. I think our party leader has generally summarized what